All right, we're on to the last type of factoring, the most difficult type. The type where it's a trinomial, but a is not 1. Okay, a equals 1, we said they had to multiply to c, but add to b. When a is not 1, which it is for these last 4, you've got a little bit more work ahead of you. So let's start with this one. Okay, if you multiply a times c, right, a is 6, c is negative 10, right, so a times c equals negative 60. Okay, so you got to figure out something that multiplies to negative 60 but adds to 11. Okay, all right, what makes 60? 1 and negative 60, 2 and negative 30, 3 and negative 20, 4 and negative 15. Oop, that's close. That's negative 11 right there. So what if it was negative 4 or positive 15? That would work. Okay. So what we're going to do is, instead of writing it like it is, we're going to write 6t squared. But instead of writing plus 11t, I'm going to write minus 4t plus 15t minus 10, like that. Okay? Then I'm going to say, okay, well, these first two terms I can factor with grouping, and these two terms I can factor with grouping, because now it's a 4-term problem. Okay, so I'm going to look at the first two and say, okay, they both have a 2t I could take out. That would leave me 3t minus 2. If I look at the back two, 5 goes into both of those. So I'm going to write plus 5, and that leaves me 3t minus 2. Well, that's good because now the parentheses are the same, so I could factor out that parentheses, 3t minus 2. And that would leave me a 2t left in the front because the 3t minus 2 is gone, and a 5 in the back, right? So plus 5. And that right there is your answer. Okay? All right, let's do it again. Let's look at this one. All right, a times c is 24. Okay, but I need to add to negative 12. Okay, so they're both going to have to be negative in order to make it work. Negative 1 times negative 24 is negative, or excuse me, positive 24, but when you add it up, it makes negative 25. Negative 2 and negative 12. When you add that, it adds to negative 14, right? Negative 3 and negative 8. When you add those two, they make negative 11. Uh-oh. Negative 4 and negative 6, when you add those, they make negative 10. And we're out of numbers. So this one adds up to negative 25, negative 14, negative 11, negative 10. None of them make what we need. So this one is prime. Sorry to say. Okay, none of the combos were going to work. What about this one? All right, well, there's a 2 that could come out of this, right? We always want to take our GCFs out if we can. Okay, a times c then is now 3 times negative 4. Let me do it this way, which is negative 12. So I need to add or multiply to negative 12, but got to add up to negative 1. Okay, that's 1 and negative 12, 2 and negative 6, nope, 3 and negative 4. Oh, there it is, 3 and negative 4. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite my problem. 2 3x squared, but instead of writing the minus x, I'm going to write plus 3x minus 4x minus 4, like that. Okay? All right, so that equals 2. Now, what could I take out of those first ones? They both have a 3 and an x. So I'll take that out, and that leaves me an x plus 1, right? Because 1 times 3x is 3x. 3x times x makes 3x squared. In the back two, they both have a minus 4, so I could take that out. And that leaves me an x, because negative 4 times x makes negative 4. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking there's nothing left, but there is. You're dividing. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is plus 1. Okay, so now they both have, look, plus 1, x plus 1. Okay, so write the 2 in front. Then you have an x plus 1 you can factor out. In the first term, if you take out the x plus 1, you've got a 3x left. Oops, so let me write 3x. In the back term, you've got a minus 4 right here. So this right there is the answer. All right, I hope that helps with the factoring. See you, bye.